Then there's a couple different ways you can move on with this. I did this, went back to the G chord. Just because I like that, it's so powerful. On one of the Gary Davis recordings, he actually comes back here and does this double stop. Or something like that. So let me play the whole thing through. That's it. He does another double stop lick, this time with the first finger on the 10th fret of the first string, ring finger on the 12th fret of the second string. And then he goes back. And then he's going to play the same D-shaped chord we did before, but this time around he's going to slide it. And then slide that T chord like that. And then he just kind of thumps on the third, this is how I hear it, a quick G chord. So he just, sometimes I just get the bass, the 3rd fret of the 6th string. And then he goes into this run, which is really cool. This is a run, if you listen to Blind Blake, there's a tune called That'll Never Happen No More, where he does this really cool type thing. And same thing Gary Davis is doing here. He hits the bass, the G, and he does this, where he's pinching the 3rd fret of the 4th string and the 3rd fret of the 1st string. So that's the first part of it. Whoops. And then he's putting down, keeping the pinky where it's at, and his other 3 fingers make a C chord. And he's still pinching the same 4th and 1st strings. I throw in the 2nd string too, using sometimes I'll wear another pick, sometimes I'll just do it with my bare fingernail, so like this. Whoops. There he goes. So I've got my 1st finger on the 4th string, 1st fret. Got my 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. Got my pinky still on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and my ring finger is on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. So that whole thing, C, here, like that. So let me do the whole thing in context. I can't, if I think about it, I can't remember it. So it's, whoops, I can't get it. Thinking too much. Let me try it again. Whoops. Comes back to a G. Is that right? If I remember it correctly, I'll come back to it. So he starts out. Yeah, that's it. So there I'm just got a G chord and I'm pinching the 4th and the 1st strings, a little bit of the 2nd string. So it's really kind of a 3-finger pinch. So that first one you should pinch the 1st and open 2nd string. Do that all the way through. Really cool. So the whole thing. Then he goes up to the G, 15th fret of the 1st string, and slides it. And then he does a little bass run. That's how I do it. He does something like that, but not exactly. Then back into this. And then right here he goes. Something like that. It's kind of a cool lick out of that same D shape that we used at the 8th fret, 8th and 9th frets. Or I'm sorry, 7th and 8th frets. So we do the piano roll part again, the E7th, so it's from here, it's just like we did before. Then right there, So I'm going to slide from the 2nd fret of the 4th string to the 5th fret to lead into this lick. I do it with my 1st finger, and then I just make that D shape. And I take my pinky all the way to the 10th fret of the 1st string while playing that D shape. Something like that. And I lead with my thumb. Like that. So it's thumb, index finger, thumb, index finger, thumb. So the whole lick. Then I'm doing this lick out of that chord shape, putting my pinky down on the 9th fret of the 3rd string, open, and then bringing it down on the 9th fret of the 4th string. It's kind of a weird Gary Davis type thing. That's not exactly maybe how he does it, but that's pretty darn close. And then he goes back to the E. And then this time he does another one of those bass runs. Does that again. Then it sounds on one version, the way I play it is I go back to the piano roll one more time to end it up. Just like we did before, same lick. Then we wrap it up. So we do that turnaround again, pinching the 1st, 2nd, and 4th strings, remember? Then we go to that high G, and bring it, slide it up, and then he does this, kind of a weird Gary Davis type thing, early surf guitar. I don't know where he slides, I assume he slides from the G. I usually just do it anywhere. And then G chord. And he utters something in there on one version. Good go. Something like that. So it's good go. Now there's different versions of Gary Davis doing this tune where he plays all kinds of different stuff, different people doing it. But that is a very straightforward version of Gary Davis's 12 sticks, which you can figure out and play fairly easily. Now the little single string runs, I think at one time he even starts it from the 8th fret. That part I haven't figured out yet. I want to add to that. And you can improvise and come up with different licks and things to fill in and keep that song going for a long time. It's like a really cool framework for an original instrumental that you can develop. That's what I'm trying to do with it. But that's the way I play it right now. It's 12 sticks, Reverend Gary Davis, great song. Hope this lesson was interesting, helpful, educational for you. If you have any questions, comments, corrections, anything, please contact me, let me know. And I'll be back again sometime soon with another instructional video.